being aware of it and stacking that up. When I work with athletes, the successful athletes I work with, when they're in a slump, it's never that they can't hit a ball anymore or make a shot or swing a golf club. They've lost their self-confidence. Somewhere along the way, they've lost the ability to focus on the things they are great at and stacking those promises they make to themselves. And the way I get them to break their slump, it's not correcting their swing or getting them positive. It's getting them to acknowledge the small promises, showing up to batting practice early, hitting that extra bucket of balls, beginning to reward themselves for the extra promises they keep to themselves, puts them back in a state of self-confidence. All of a sudden, they're hitting the ball great again. For me,
what's going on, family? Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. We're going to get started here in the next few minutes, just sending out this last minute link to everybody. If you guys can hear me just fine, just drop some coffee emojis, drop some love, drop some sevens, drop something in the chat box. We are live on YouTube right now, so that's a good thing. And today is episode number 70. So you know for a fact that today has to be one of the biggest episodes that we've ever had. Guys, drop those sevens, drop that coffee emoji. If you drop the 7 and a coffee emoji like Ms. Zuli, it'll equal 70. Let's go.
Me personally, I'm constantly in a crisis to get to the next version of me. It's not like I'd like to. I am in a crisis to get the next version of me. And so the guy sitting in front of you right now, if I come back in a year and I'm just the same exact person with the same thoughts, same ideas, same ways of delivering them, this was a wasted year of my life, right?
Got it. Let's go.
To know how to get to that next version of me. So for those of you that struggle with taking criticism, you got to ask yourself, how important is it to you to grow? Because you were put on earth to grow, to contribute, to serve, to help. You were in your way. And the current version of you is perfect as it stands right now, but it will be inferior next year. You got a crazy, hungry crisis to get to that next version of you. I want the data. I want the input. I want the information. I want the feedback to get to the next version of me, regardless of how it emotionally makes me feel. I'm like driven by that. Without that information, why am I living? Not only are all achievers doing that, but all happy people do that. In other words, here's how we know you're perfect now. You've produced the external life you have. So you are perfect for that life right now. You are all you need to be right now. But if you want a different life, an improved life, a growing life, right, an increased life, this version of you is inferior to get to that place. I changed what I did in the morning and I changed what I did in the evening. And so somehow by grabbing control of my morning and by grabbing control of my evening, I got some measure of control over the middle of my day. I was an out of control person back in those days, meaning this: I woke up worried, stressed, fearful. I said, I got to grab control of my morning, and I set up routines in my morning. Maybe they served me, maybe they didn't, but they were things I could deliver on doing for myself. And so not only did that give me control over the day, but I started to stack my self-confidence too. I play these very strange games with myself when I'm at the gym. When I'm working out, I always do one extra rep, one extra set, because it's a promise I kept to myself. And here's the biggest thing. It's a pattern. It's a pattern I keep of me. I always do a little extra. I always go the extra inch. And the quickest and easiest place to do it is the gym, because I can always grab one more weight, one more set. And here's what it does. It shifts your identity.
We're about to get started in the next about 3 minutes, guys. I'm feeling it today. This is episode 70. I'm taking my time. You know, I'm not rushing. If I don't got to rush, just drop another 7 with a coffee emoji. Drop another 70. If I don't got to rush on my 70th episode, if I could, I want to treat today like I'm 70. I just want to relax. I'm retired. Look, today's our retirement episode. This is the episode we retire on. So I'm gonna just sit back and relax. Just drop those 70s, drop those 7, and we're gonna get started in the next few minutes. Let's go.
So my standards are mandatory because you get your standards, right? So the reason my standards are set so high is because I don't want to leave it up to my own devices, right? My standard is 1 more minute on the treadmill. My standard is 1 more person I could reach that day, 1 more phone call, 1 more something. And so for me, I raise them every single year, but the way I get to do it is I link it to my reasons. You show me someone with compelling, emotional, gigantic reasons, I'll show you someone who's changing their standards all day long. That which you do not hate, you will eventually tolerate. Woo! And
Hold up.
That identifies
Hold on.
most people.
That was a gem.
In other words,
he just dropped the gem. Hold on. Listen.
I think that identifies most people's tolerate.
Hold on. Here we go.
That which you do not hate, you will eventually tolerate.
Sheesh.
And I think that identifies most people's lives. In other words, average becomes sort of like this slow asphyxiation. It's almost like an anesthetic. And that over time we become kind of immune and dulled to the average that we're becoming. And so over time, we sort of minimize where we're at. In other words, I'm a little pudgy instead of being, no, you're a fat ass, right? You don't magnify the degree to which the pain ought to be affecting you. And so really what he means in that is, listen, you're going to get out of your life what you'll accept. And that's really difficult for people, I think, to understand is, look, what you think you're worth and what you're going to tolerate is absolutely what you're going to bring into your life and what the outward part of your life is going to look like. And so I live by that. Like, I let myself sort of feel the pain and the difficulty of being not where I want to be in whatever that area is, whether it's like my relationships, my money. I let myself feel that pain because, as you know, there's two motivators, right? There's the gaining of pleasure, right? Wanting to go get something, chasing the dream. But then there's the avoidance of pain. And for a lot of champions, that's a pretty big driving force for them. And so at least for me, I leverage both of those things on me to get myself to take action. There's this misnomer, and you've watched this even in your own life. There's this thing people think, well, if I enjoy myself now, I'm going to lose my drive. In other words, if I can just wire myself with a...
Man, welcome. If you have not taken the time to go and drop the link inside of the Discord group, just do me a favor. Let's wake up the community. Let's wake up. Go drop this to one of your family members. Drop this to a friend that never, ever got onto anything crypto related. Send it to just send this to somebody random and be like, I love you. Send the link and then just say, I love you. You know what I mean? And let's see if they'll pop on. You know what I mean? Because it is getting really crazy right now. I want to shout out the community. The community is stronger than ever. You know, the Secrets to Crypto and Money Mastery Academy, we are stronger than ever. We are trading at an all-time rate. We are connecting at an all-time rate. And we are really, I would say that we're vibrating high, right? So let me go ahead and make sure that we're recording the actual audio so y'all can, so we can catch this as well. All right, perfect. So this is episode number 70. Like I said before, this is the episode that we just relax, man. We're going to take it easy. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have fun today. If you're excited, just drop something that you're excited about. Drop something you're optimistic about in 2023 in the chat box here on Zoom, or if you're tuning in here or on YouTube. And, you know, if you're listening later on to the audio on Apple Podcasts, you can also drop in the comments on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good things. So new beginnings. Okay. Marion's heart is on fire right now. Sheesh. Fire and desire. You know what I mean? Marion said she got that fire and that desire. I hear that. Ms. Zuli said new beginnings. My mom said, I'm optimistic about doing some new projects. Okay. Some new projects. Absolutely. Absolutely. We all getting into new. So it seems like new things for everybody. But the question is, do you really mean it this time? You know, look, I don't want you to even answer it. Just answer that within yourself. Do you really mean it this time? You know, if y'all love this show, show me some love by dropping the link in the Discord. All right. If you love this show, let's go and drop this link one more time in the Discord. I'm about to go. I love it. So I'm gonna go drop the link. Boom. All right, we in there. Y'all ready? Let's take off, man. Let's do it. I'm not holding back today. We got a lot of content to cover. All right. I want to say shout out to Ms. Zuli for sending that video inside of the group chat. I want to say shout out to my mom Tammy for being plugged into the video before Ms. Zuli even sent it. I want to say that y'all are more in the rabbit hole than me right now, because I didn't even see that video. But that's why it was so important. That's why it was so important that we create a community like this. Like, everybody said a new beginnings. I believe that there's a new beginning in the Discord. There was a certain level of energy that came in 2022, and man, it was crazy. But the level of energy, the amount of people, impact, everything that we're going to do together in 2023 is going to be 10 times bigger than we've ever imagined. So with that being said, I want to take you guys to what's going on in the cryptocurrency space right now. Where are we? Okay, so right now today, we are at $854 billion. All right. We've seen Bitcoin rally another 1,000. We've seen Ethereum rally another 100. All right. And we've seen XRP continue to bounce, continue to hit the bankhead bounce. It's just bouncing between that zone. You know, when are they gonna free XRP? When are they gonna free XLM? That's what I want to know. I'm about to get you know what? Chris, is Chris on? I got a text. Look, Chris, I'm about to tell him a shirt idea, man. We gotta do that. All right. We all need to be rocking that because they need to free this. They need to free this digital asset right here. They're suppressing the price. All right, prices staying stagnant. But this is good for us. You know, the people that actually believe is good for us. We can continue to accumulate. We can continue to stack the cheap cash, the cheap paper that they're giving us, right? Because that's what matters right now. So we'll continue to stack that. We'll continue to invest that. That's the goal. Now, coffee and crypto, if you're new on here, this is not financial advice. If you're looking for financial advice, you should hire a financial advisor that understands the DeFi space. All right. The Vincent Owens Group is a great place to outsource one of those people. Okay. If you are looking for someone that can help you, if you don't have a whole lot of time, all right, you can leverage me. You can leverage my community, right? This is what we do. Now, XRP is at 35 cents. Okay, right now. Where do you guys see it going? Do you see it going up or do you see it going down? Someone asked me yesterday, do you think we'll see a 21-cent XRP? I told him anything's possible. Yes. Yes. I believe for a 21-cent XRP. I believe for that. I believe for 18, 15 cent XRP. I believe in that. A lot of people don't believe in that, but I believe for that. I'm not afraid to see it go from 35 cents to 15 cents. I'm not afraid. It's okay. Because when you understand what you hold, and the video that I got to show y'all today, these clips, oh, they're about to go crazy, man. Drop those coffee emojis. Light me up one time because I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. Now that we know where the market is, let's dive into this video. Okay. This video, I have a couple of sections to show on this video, but the very first one, okay, is going to talk about where we are right now in this potential war. And I want to say potential, this war, these multiple wars, everything that's going on right now in the world. Okay. It's about to get bad before it gets worse. So this one is by Stansberry Research. It's posted 3 days ago. Drop those coffee emojis for 3 days ago. Okay. Entitled, "This is How the Fed Will Seize Your Money in 2023" by Gerald Celente. Now, who is Gerald? I meant to pull that up for you. So let's go and look at exactly who Gerald is. All right. So Gerald Celente. All right. Let's go to, does he have a LinkedIn? Okay. Guess I have to be. Do I have to be logged in? Yes, so. Here we go. No, I don't want to do all that. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry. They want me to log in. I don't want to log in. Just want to know who Gerald is. So you know what? I'm just gonna go to Wikipedia. All right, I don't care. I'm just gonna go here. All right. So Gerald Celente was born in Italian America in the Bronx. He had early political experience running a mayoral campaign in New York and served as executive assistant to the Secretary of New York State Senate. From 1973 to 1979, Celente traveled between the U.S. cities of Chicago, Illinois, Washington, D.C. as a government affairs specialist. In 1980, Celente founded the Trends Research Institute, all right, at first called the Socioeconomic Research Institute of America, now located in Kingston, New York. Publisher, okay, of the Trends journals, which forecast and analyze business, socioeconomic, political, and other trends. All right. So you could just literally, really just call him the Trends GOAT. All right. So today we're going to listen to the Trends GOAT. All right. Gerald Celente, all right, as he breaks down what he thinks is going to happen in 2023 when it comes to the world, when it comes to central bank digital currencies, and when it comes to the Federal Reserve. All right. Let's get it.
World War II began when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. You go back to July 1941. You know what happened? Japan, you could Google this up, History Today. Japan had the nerve to go into French Indochina. And Franklin Delano Roosevelt took all the assets of Japan that they had in the United States because they went in there because they were going to go into China. So they took over French Indochina and they cut off all the oil supplies going, 88% of the oil supplies going into Japan. And Japan needs 100% of the oil. And Japan's trade dropped by 3/4. This is before Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. They never talk about that. Oh, and by the way, they put sanctions on Japan for going into French Indochina. What were the French doing over there in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos? Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, and they talk about the Japan was stealing the rubber and other tin and that they needed. That's all this is ever about. So what I'm saying to you is that on the economic front, we are in a very dangerous position here. Yeah. And if this war continues to go on like it is going to crash the economies. All things are connected, like the blood which unites us all, said Chief Seattle. On that note.
All right. So y'all got to really pay attention to today. I really felt like today's show, since it's the 7th episode, I mean, we should literally break down this. I mean, like everything that I said in 2022 on here, he's saying. So like, you know what I mean? So let's break it down because it's a lot of new people and I need to catch y'all up on 2022 so you're ready for 2023. You come on this show, this for one reason. All right. And that ain't to see my handsome face. Okay. That one reason is to plug into this information and make sure that you are ready and your family is ready for what is to come. These are the facts, the figures, the numbers, the logic, and everything else in between. All right. So I'm going to be pausing the video, talking a little bit about some different things. Okay. I'm going to show some other videos once we dive in to correlate. All right. Show some other proof so that it's not just this, but you can see it happen on multiple different playing fields. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. Let's go.
On that note, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, came out, and I feel this didn't get enough press, by the way. Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva warned that the global economy, as you say, Gerald, faces a tough year, tougher than the year we leave behind. Why, you may ask, is she saying this? She goes on to say, we expect 1/3 of the world economy to be in recession because the three big economies, US, Europe, and China, are all slowing down simultaneously. Now she adds.
All right. Now, who is this lady? Kristalina Georgieva. Okay. She's a part of the World Economic Forum. All right. She's on the board there, but she's also, okay, the managing director of the International Monetary Fund. Kristalina Georgieva currently serves as that. Okay. She got elected or selected in September of 2019. right before COVID, right? Now, before joining the IMF, Ms. Georgieva was CEO of the World Bank from January of 2017 to 2019, during which time she also served as interim president of the World Bank Group for 3 months. Family, she is basically the Rosie Rios of the world. Hold on. She's the Rosie Rios for the world. Now, previously, Ms. Georgieva helped shape the agenda of the European Union while serving as European Commission Vice President for Budget and HR. In this capacity, she oversaw the Europe's $161 billion budget and 33,000 staff, as well as the Euro's response to the Euro area debt crisis and the 2015 refugee crisis. Before that, she was the Commissioner for International Cooperation, Humanitarian Aid, and Crisis Response. This lady is deep. She's deep in the rabbit hole, right? She's deep in the rabbit hole. She's from Bulgaria. She holds a PhD in economic science and a master's in political economy and sociology from the University of National and World Economy, Sofia, in Bulgaria. Okay, where she was an associate professor between 1977 and 1993. Excuse me, not in Bulgaria. Excuse me, she's from Bulgaria. Okay, during her academic career, she was visiting fellow at the London School and MIT. Wow, all Ivy League. Seems like she was chosen for this moment. Let's keep pushing forward. Now, found some videos on Twitter. Y'all know I had to go dive in the rabbit hole on Twitter. All right. Now, this is from Face the Nation on Twitter. Okay. Year ahead. Now, this was posted this year. All right. So this ain't old. So for more of the world economy, this is going to be a tough year. IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said, why? Because the three big economies, US, Euro, China, and all are slowing down. I wanted to show this video because she kind of was talking about it, but she doesn't actually show the video. So I want you guys to hear what Kristalina says.
One of your IMF researchers gave a pretty dire prediction. Overall, this year's shocks will reopen economic wounds that were only partially healed post-pandemic. In short, the worst is yet to come. And for many people, 2023 will feel like a recession. What do we need to brace for?
This is what we see in 2023. For most of the world economy, this is going to be a tough year, tougher than the year we leave behind. Why? Because the three big economies, US, EU, China, are all slowing down simultaneously. The US is most resilient. The US may avoid a recession. We see the labor market remaining quite strong. This is, however, a mixed blessing, because if the labor market is very strong, the Fed may have to keep interest rates tighter for longer to bring inflation down. The EU, very severely hit by the war in Ukraine. Half of the European Union will be in recession next year. China is going to slow down this year further. Next year would be a tough year for China. And that translates into negative trends globally. When we look at the emerging markets and developing economies, there the picture is even direr. Why? Because on top of everything else, they get hit by high interest rates and by the appreciation of the dollar. For those economies that have high level of debt, this is a devastation.
But I have more. I have more.
How do you describe the state of US economics and politics?
The US economy, remarkably resilient. Decision-making in the US, because of the way the political set is At the moment, it is more difficult, but nonetheless, the US has taken some very important steps that are helping to the US economy, like the child tax, the
Tax credit. It
the credit
expired.
that is, it is contributing so significantly to reducing poverty in the US, like the infrastructure bill, like the Inflation Reduction Act. These are things that are bringing more dynamism in the US, good for the US, good for the world. And of course, staying on that course is going to be more challenging, but I do hope that the US is not going to slip into recession despite all these risks. We expect 1/3 of the world economy to be in recession, and yes, as you said, even countries that are not in recession, it would feel like recession for countries of millions of people. But if that resilience of the labor market in the US holds, the US would help the world to get through a very difficult year.
Now, this right here is happening in Manhattan, in the US, literally, all right? This was posted January 9th. Thousands of nurses have walked out from 2 of NYC's largest hospitals in a strike. Thousands. Let's watch this video. So, you know, look, I haven't looked into the story that much. So, you know, maybe go do your research on that as well. However, that's kind of crazy after what she said. Now, let's keep going through this video, y'all. We're not done. Let's keep going through this video. We got a lot to cover. So just sit back and enjoy the show.
While the US may avoid a recession, she really sees the EU as being severely hit by the war in Ukraine, and that half of the EU will be in recession in 2023. China faces the same fate.
Japan hit its highest Japan hit its highest inflation rate in 7 decades. The sanctions that they put on Russia have, to quote from Biden, it was going to punish Putin. It didn't punish Putin, it punished the people. Again, then you look at the headlines going on and on from place after place. China, December manufacturing contracts at its sharpest pace in almost 3 years. Wall Street Journal, Chinese economic activity takes big hit. It's one after another. And again, they're making a very bad situation worse by ramping up the war. So let's go back to the reality. Let's go back to 2019, not ancient history. Happy New Year. At that time, Germany was a fraction of going into a recession. Let's go back to September of 2019. Hey, remember the repo markets where the Federal Reserve dumped in $10 trillion between September 2019 to January 2020 so they could keep pumping up the markets because they needed more cheap money? Now let's go to the COVID war. They locked down the world. And we're talking about why China's in so much trouble with their zero COVID policy. The businesses that they've destroyed in China and around the world are incalculable. Oh, you're talking about Italy? Now they're talking about Italy, and I think it was the IMF or one of them just came out, that they're facing the worst financial crisis of all of them concerning their debt level. And look at what's happened to the businesses. So now let's put it all together. We're looking at what happened and why it happened. So when they began the COVID war, they locked down everything, stay at home, you can't go to work, but hey, here's some cheap money for you. Here, go on. Shut up, here's some money. You got a business here. We're going to give you money. Oh, we're going to print, we're going to go to zero and negative interest rates. Well, they stayed on negative interest rates, what, in Europe for how many years? Oh, only 8. In the United States, zero interest rate policy. The market should have crashed in 2020. No, we had a real estate boom. We had a high-tech boom. People were buying and fixing up. Here's more cheap money. Here's cheap money. But now let's go back to the facts. We had the BS from Janet Yellen. Oh, by the way, taken over by the Federal Reserve because she was the head of the Fed and now our Treasury Secretary, along with the guy playing the Fed head, Powell, going on for almost 2 years. Salenti, you're full of baloney, and so are you other people. There is no inflation. It's only temporary. No. It's only transitory. They lied about it. They knew it was real. Same thing with Lagarde. So they could keep pumping in that cheap money. Now, here's the big lie. Now they're saying inflation will get better because it was only caused by the supply chain disruptions, not our cheap money and our zero interest rate policy. You see where this is going? So here's the deal. If the Federal Reserve raises interest rates in February 1st, even 25 basis points, it's going to keep pushing the markets down. However, being that it's all about the bottom line, they may be less aggressive in raising interest rates.
Right.
And that's why you're seeing gold prices going up.
Right. Okay. Few things there. I want to bring up the BRICS. Okay.
All right. This part is pretty crazy. So pay attention to this part. It was very important. You know, if you haven't taken any notes, I recommend you take some notes from this moment forward. And then we're going to get into CBDCs and this new digital economy. Talk about all this today.
Because we're seeing the strength of the BRICS rise, right? Increase.
Yep.
Other countries want to be added on. We see Putin's New Year's Eve message embracing China, Brazil, and India. Hey, we're all friends now. Chummy friends. Talk to me about your thoughts on the BRICS and how that role may change here.
If China didn't have its zero interest rate policy, the zero COVID policy, we were forecasting that China was going to be the largest economy in the world within 7 years. This has really slowed it down. China and Russia have united. So if you don't know who the BRICS nations is, okay, the BRICS nations, just to make sure, you know, people on YouTube who are catching this video, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Those are the original countries, but there are more that are joining forces. The BRICS have united. They are tired of the West running the world. And there are more of them than us. It's all in the numbers. When you're looking at China, and again, it's just baloney, you know, that, oh, their birth rate is going down. You got 1.4 billion people over there. You got 332 million in America. You got what, about 40 million in Europe. It's all about the numbers. So when you start putting all the BRICS in, and then you start bringing in the other countries, you know, Indonesia and on and on and on. No, the future is going in that direction.
But the U.S. is
because here's the deal. The business of China is business, as with their, you know, their road initiative, you know, build what they've done. The business of America is war. So as America and Europe, and again, I just read to you what Stoltenberg is saying, what all the Europeans are doing, putting more and more money into the military, as the other countries are putting more and more money into building their economies.
Right. Okay. So are they doing that because they see what's coming with the BRICS. I mean, obviously the US is looking at this thinking, how do we maintain our superpower status here if the BRICS keep growing?
And that's what I'm saying. When all else fails, they take you to war. I talked about what Roosevelt did in 1941. What happened before that? There was a thing called the Great Depression. When all else fails, they take you to war. Go back to the dot-com bust. Again, in our Trends Journal magazine, October 1999, the headline, dot-com bust. Busted in March of 2000. Oh, you mean the day before 9/11, the NASDAQ was only down 66%. 9/11 happens, all forgotten. We'll create a new fake thing. We'll have a fake real estate market, a derivatives thing. We'll make up anything we can. So that's what we're saying. The United States isn't about the bottom line. The United States way out is with war. I mean, look, you can't make this stuff up. Look at the guy that's plays the United States Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. What was he? Oh, he was a general. No, after he became a general, you mean he sat on the board of directors of Raytheon, the second largest defense contractor in the United States? Oh, by the way, look at their stocks since this has gone up. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, all the defense contractors, boom, boom, boom. So that's where the United States is going. China and the BRICS are going in another direction. And then going back to gold. Look at.
So basically, just to make sure that it's understood, the US is putting their money into warfare. China and these other countries are putting their money into more of their money into technology, all right, into business, into, so that's the difference.
All the gold that was bought up by the central banks in 2022.
Well, yeah, and I want to bring that up. I want to talk gold in a second, but want to stay on. I want to stick to the Fed for a second because you brought up the Fed. I want to know where you think they're headed. You mentioned we might see another rate hike. We all know they want to slow. All
right, so I want to fast forward so we can get through this. I'm going to fast forward to the 23 mark, around 23 minutes. Or actually, I'll do right there.
That's the way they're going to get out of this thing. Look at the United States, just passed what, a $1.7 trillion budget when you have a $30.1 trillion deficit? They're going to make something up. Here, the Russians just hacked our banking system. You can't get your money out, but don't worry about it. We're coming up with a new currency. They'll make up anything. Oh, going back to, I said, when all else fails, they take you to war. The guy that was the president, FDR. Oh, that's the guy. You don't own gold anymore. Bring your gold into us, or else you go to jail. They'll make up anything. And I believe this is going to be the year where there's going to be a big push toward a digital currency. So and that's the way the Fed's going to get us.
This is the year that.
This is the year that we go into a digital currency. We've been saying it over and over. Listen to this video at the World Economic Forum last year, or I don't know if this was necessarily, I think this was last year, but either way, listen to this video.
We are advocating to think about this world of digital money as a global public good. When protocols are agreed, this public platform can connect different CBDCs.
I mean, COVID makes it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization, and it makes surveillance go under your skin. You just imagine the situation when everybody goes around all the time with some biometric bracelet.
It's going to be the fourth industrial revolution, an all-consuming industrial revolution right across the board. The speed of change 1,000 times faster than during the first industrial revolution, and affecting all services, all products, all countries, all industries, and all people. It's going to lead to job destruction. So we've got to think about the jobs of the future and how we create them. It's going to lead to massive technological change in the way we deliver services. It's going to force governments to change their minds about how they operate. And all this has been set out by Klaus Schwab in the speech he made in Abu Dhabi.
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take a genetic editing.
Woo! Let's keep going. All right. So before we get back to our original video, the Federal Reserve is flagging, this came out January 9th, is flagging crypto assets as dangerous. Why? Well, y'all will find out in the rest of the video as we finish it up. But the main thing is they don't want Bitcoin to be the currency. They want to have their own currency, a CBDC. But they're going to also utilize blockchain technologies that are already created, because why are they going to spend the time or develop the team to recreate the wheel that's already been created to go on their car? Like, who goes to the tire? Who says, I'm gonna just make my own tire? Like, you just go to the tire shop, right? You go there. So I think they're gonna go get the tires and the rims that's already available through these other blockchain networks, right? So the Federal Reserve is flagging crypto assets as dangerous. So we'll see how this goes. You know, XRP is in a fight right now, whether it's going to be a security or not. Either way, this train will not be stopped. This is something that is going to happen. It's already happening, and you know it's moving. And you know, this is why we need a real decentralized economy on a global stage. It's shameful what the U.S. dollar has truly become. Right, a dollar's purchasing power. Let's go look at it. Right, so on this side is a value of $1 US. All right. So from $0 to $25. Okay. This is the purchase power of $1 all the way up from 1920 all the way up to 2020, what the purchasing power has been. Okay. Now, at the very beginning, the Federal Reserve Act creates a central bank with the ability to manage the country's money supply. So again, they're just creating stuff. Then that was at the top when it was above $25, the value of $1. Then by 1920, you know, we saw this take a collapse. The stock market crashes and lead up to the Great Depression. Then $20 valuation, the US President Roosevelt criminalizes the possession of gold, right? Then the Bretton Woods Agreement. Then there we go. The gold standard is abandoned in the 70s. All right. And currencies are no longer linked to gold. All right. That's when the value kept going. Then they created in about 2009, 2008, they created what's called quantitative easing to save the market back during that recession that we were in then. Right. Then 2020, the U.S. money supply grew by $3.8 trillion in 2020, equaling 20% of the dollars ever created, equaling 20% of all the dollars. So if you look down here, okay, in 1913, $1 could have got you 30 Hershey bars, right? 1929, okay, 1929, $1 could have got you 10 rolls of toilet paper. Okay, in the 30s, could have got you 10 bottles of beer. Woo. Today, okay, if we speed up to 2020, okay, you can only get one McDonald's coffee. $1 equals one McDonald's coffee now. I thought that was pretty interesting. Let's keep pushing forward, guys. Let's get through this video.
The road begins towards a bank digital currency.
Yep.
In the US.
Matter of fact, that's the way we see it happening. And it's going to go like that, like that, like that. And we're doing this to protect you so we can know every penny that you spent, where you spent it, what you spent it on, so we can get the tax money because we're politicians and we don't work a day in our lives and we need your money and all the little clowns that we call public servants that work for us, that do what we tell them to do, so we can keep them paid, so we get all your money. That's where this thing is going. And I say to people, if you're keeping money in the bank, why are you keeping it there?
On that note, let's talk gold. Because you said it's central banks bought records amount of gold in the third quarter of 2022, numbers we haven't seen in decades. We still don't know what China's buying, but they revealed that they're buying some. No one really believes the numbers. That's a different story. What do central banks know that we don't know?
What they know is how they're going to rig it, and we don't know when they're going to do it and how they're going to do it. But again, as I was saying, why would you keep your money in a bank when they're not paying you anything and they're making money on your money? So going back to gold, and again, as you well know, everybody knows, we have no advertisers in the Trends Journal magazine. So we're not pumping anybody. To us, gold is the #1 safe haven asset. When gold went down into the 1600s a few months ago, we said this is the bottom. It's going up from now. And now it's been hitting, several month highs. Again, when they go digital, gold is going to go through the roof. And they go digital, gold is going to go through the roof, because that's going to be the only real currency that's going to be accepted to pay, to transfer, because they're going to do away with all the paper money. Again, the whole world has gone AI. It's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. And you know what the biggest news now that's being watched is TikTok. That's not news. That's like beep, beep, bop, bop, bop. That's
beep, beep, bop, bop, bop. Beep, beep, bop. All right, so let me fast forward a little bit. Let's get into it.
All after the crypto and
to AI, and you could give them what you want to write, and they'll write. Yeah. The younger generations are going to accept it like that. The digital currencies. That's perfect for me. It's perfect for you. And China's going to lead the way in it. And they are leading the way.
I'm going to be a bot 10 years from now, Daniela, who? On that note, okay, I know you like gold. In the past, you also had an open heart to Bitcoin. I know you had invested in Bitcoin, but curious to know if your stance has changed at all after the crypto carnage. And I know Bitcoin's in a league of itself, but obviously SBF and all that garbage affecting the whole sector. Your thoughts on the crypto space?
Yeah, well, I was always like, because Bitcoin was the one, and again, it's that generation's currency. It's going to be tough. I think there'll be a place of Bitcoin, and very interesting with Bitcoin, even though it's way down from when it was 60,000, it's still at 16,000. And when you go back, 11 years ago, it started at zero. And it's been in the $16,000 range now for months. It hasn't gone down from there. The only thing that I think it's going to stop it is when they come out with digital. This is what we said going back to 2020, when our magazine cover was From Dirty Cash to Digital Trash. When the governments when they go fully digital, they're not going to want any competition, and they're going to make it very hard for it. That's the only way we see it going down.
Now, why is that? They covered some things they didn't really get. So I want to talk about that. Why is it? Why is Bitcoin the focus? They didn't talk about XRP. See, the thing is, we're talking about utility, world utility, global utility, versus just something being a digital store of value. But we already have gold as a physical store of value. So if people are going to store their value now, again, the younger generations, their value may be digital, obviously, right? That's why we have digital asset classes, digital commodities, digital everything, right? Because tokenizing these asset classes is very important. However, when you look at this space, all right, and you talk about and we're talking about they're saying Bitcoin not having a place on this earth because of digital. Well, let's talk about that digital side. Let's think about that digital side. And we know CBDCs are on the way. We know that ISO 20022 is replacing SWIFT, which will be great for the messaging standard of CBDCs, for the messaging standard for CBDCs. So now we know what we hold. That is why if you're holding these assets, XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand, Quant, IOTA, it's not financial advice, HBAR, Cardano. If you hold these Ethereum, if you hold these assets, you already know. So fear not.
But we still see Bitcoin as all the cryptocurrencies as the one that's going to stabilize until they do that and it becomes the real deal. And it's going to take a few years for that to happen. It's going to start gradually and then all of a sudden it'll end and we'll all be digital.
I want to get your thoughts on the political landscape, but just quick thoughts on the US dollar.
All right. So that is what I wanted to talk about today. That's what I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to deep dive, show you some of these major players, what they're talking about, and hopefully you got something out of today's episode. Light up the chat box if you got some value today. I'd love to hear from one or two people that may want to share one thing you like, learned, or loved on today's episode. If you're new, don't be afraid to hop on and say something. We love hearing from newer people. And also, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to know how you can join us on Zoom, you're going to need to be a part of the Discord group. We drop the Zoom link inside of the Discord group every single Tuesday and Thursday. We also have a full calendar on Discord now. So if you're looking to actually join a community where we're trading 5 times a week, we have multiple discussions. We drop a lot of value articles, bullish content, real rabbit hole content. It's $50. $50 would support me, support what I'm doing. Also, if you're more interested in just if it's not necessarily if you're not interested in joining the Discord, but you would like to be a part of the coffee and crypto section of Discord, it's $10. $10 a month, just a donation, just to say thank you. So if you would like to just, be a part of the coffee and crypto space of our Discord, we have that available. And a lot of other things that we're rolling out this year. If you're in the Atlanta area, all right, drop ATL. If you're in the Atlanta area or surrounding the Atlanta area and you can make it to Atlanta, I'm doing a lot of special things out here. We're going to go on road, but I got to start. Jim Ron said this. He said, stop going across town if you're first not going to go across the street, right? He said, don't go across town until you first go across the street. So in business, I got to go across the street, which is starting in my city in ATL. We're about to start back up the trading classes. So if you're in the Discord group, you'll be able to start coming out to these trading classes for a discounted rate. Also, if you, I'm starting up a club here. It'll be a crypto community here in Atlanta where we'll meet have monthly meetups at the event space. More information coming on that very, very soon. Yeah. So if there's anybody that has anything that you like, learned, or love from today, feel free to unmute. Feel free to unmute your line. And yeah, I'm excited too. I'm really excited for this year. I mean, just linking up with people in person is something that's really important to me. I'm really going to push. You guys are going to see we'll have one of the largest communities I believe in the country when it comes to people that want to learn in this space and grow. So I see that nobody has anything to say today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, since we got the announcements out the way, that leaves us about 5 minutes time. So I'm going to just say, have an amazing, oh, wait, we actually got Billy. Billy got something to say. Go ahead, Billy.
Hey, look, tell me what that was. That was dirty cash to digital trash or dirty what? Did you
Yeah.
catch that line? It was the last thing you
Dirty,
said.
yeah, dirty cash to digital trash.
Gotcha. That was a good video. I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, real good video. That's inside the Discord. So we'll make sure that we redrop that as well.
Cool. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Bless. Appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for always being the best part. I know a lot of people are at work. A lot of people are working. It's 10 a.m. You know what I mean? You got your life to live. So, I want to say thank you for just taking the time to spend here with me. And yeah, if you're watching this video later on, I want to say, please make sure you subscribe to my Apple Podcast, to the YouTube. It really, really helps me out with the algorithm. And do me a favor, guys, go to this last video on YouTube. Once it's done uploading, go to the comment section. And what I want you guys to drop in the comment section for today's call is exactly what Billy said. Cash, what he said? Hold on, Billy. What they said, Billy? What was it?
Said dirty cash to digital trash.
Dirty cash to digital trash. Drop that inside the YouTube, inside the comments, just so people know what we covered today. Thanks, everybody, and I will see you all on the next call, episode 71 on Thursday. Peace and blessings.